is working again! It's like life has been restored to the whole town. Every karakuri is working again. Oh, then the karakuri at the forge will be... This I have to see!
Well, Natsume's happy. To be honest, there are dozens of things I'd like to experiment with, too. And if you wouldn't mind, I'll be needing your help with many of them. Wow. Isn't this something? I expect you're dying to look around town. I know I am. Just think of the dust flying off all those old karakuri as they spring back to life. The bathhouse near the town gates, for example. The hot waters will be flowing again. Ah, they don't need an attendant now. It couldn't have gone better. And it's all thanks to you.
Oh, talk about a surprise. Your timing couldn't be better. Oh, seeing the karakuri all working again takes me back. You couldn't come with me for a minute, could you? There's a little thing you might be able to help me with. Yataro here is a bit stuck for some materials. I was thinking maybe you could gather them up for him?
I didn't ask for any help. Why are you sticking your nose in?
Come on, stop being so stubborn. You were grumbling before about not being able to carry on with your work.
Maybe I was, but that doesn't mean I need help from an outsider. Do I look worried? I'm just... Oh, never mind.
You've got a solid offer of help here, Yataro. You'd be mad not to take it. Where's that list you showed me before of everything you need? Just give it to the hunter here, and we can all get on.
Fine.
Great. When you found everything, just give it straight to Yataro, would you? Arigato!
Why are all the karakuri suddenly moving? Did you make all the karakuri work again? All the right materials in the right quantities? Didn't think you'd come through.
Oh! Did you manage to find everything already?
Yeah.
That's great, isn't it? Now you can push on with your work. Did you thank your new supplier yet?
No? Why? I'm giving a reward, aren't I?
You should think so. But it never hurts to say thanks, you know?
Look, you're the one who asked for the help in the first place. Alright, if I have to. I just want to say, stop being so weird.
Oi, wait a minute! Sorry. I bet you're wondering why you bothered, aren't you? He's always been like that, though. But he's been through a lot, so don't think too badly of him. Of course, that's no excuse for being crabby. I'll have a word with him later.
Ah, so you're back at last. Every single karakuri in Minato is working. Hard at work as usual? You're no stranger to the Spirit Isle, are you? Takes me back, thinking about that place. I hunted Kemono there not long after I first came to Minato. This body of mine was less creaky back then. I was escorting a gathering party, if I remember rightly. All of a sudden, there was a scream from the bay. A giant bird had tried to take a child, and the father was beside himself. But luckily for him, the gallant Daidoji Ujishige wasn't far away. I pulled a child from the kemono's clutches and dispatched the beast in one fell swoop. Well, I've always been skilled, especially at talking myself up. But if you need proof, go and see for yourself. There's bound to be more of them, ready to make off with another victim given half a chance. Oh, but if you are heading over there, don't take it lightly. That kemono was almost more than I could handle. Almost. I couldn't say if you'll be able to defeat it or not. But if you emerge victorious, I'll have to give you credit where credit's due. And if you don't, well, we'll laugh about it over a cup of sake. I'm looking forward to it either way.
Oya? What is all the commotion outside? The town, alive again with the... Dear Hunter, have you heard the unfortunate news? Of the corpse found along the Blossom Trail. They have identified the poor soul at last. A fine young farming fellow. Such a waste. It was a customer of mine who happened upon the tragedy on his way to Minato via the Harvest Canyon. And now he comes under suspicion. There is no doubt in my mind that this is the work of Kemono. Yet not all appear to agree.
Because it's hogwash. Dansuke wasn't killed by any kemono.
Welcome back. Is my account really so hard to believe?
It makes no sense. Dansuke had some of the fastest legs in town. There's no way he would have let a kemono get him. Besides, I happen to know he got into a fight with someone from your store the day before he disappeared. If you ask me, you lot did him in, and then tried to make it look like the work of a kemono. No, but Kogyoku isn't one of us. She and her Crimson Treasury patrons can't be trusted.
You see what dreadful ill will befalls me? Could you possibly investigate the matter? A hunter's eye is what we need to see if this really was the work of Kemono or not. Or so say the skeptical few.
Waste of time. I'm sure these snakes will have covered their tracks. But go on. Be my guest.
I leave it in your ever-capable hands.
Are you the hunter who went to the Spirit Isle? The one who made the wheel turn? It made Ji-san so happy. I want to say thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu. Ji-san said it used to turn back in the day. That's before I was born. And he said it was a really big thing when it stopped turning. He tells me lots and lots of stories, you know? Oh, like the one about a huge tortoise on the Spirit Isle with coral on its back. Ji-san used to be a merchant, and he told me he saw a piece of its shell for sale once. Do you think there really is a kemono like that on the island? Could you go and have a look for me?
Sumimasen. I just can't stop watching. It's so fascinating. This karakuri can maintain a higher temperature in the hearth. That would mean I could forge various materials I couldn't forge before. So I'll be much more used to you now. To everyone in Minato, in fact. The times I've tried and failed to get all the things in this forge working again. Most of this equipment has been gathering dust. But now, it's had a new lease on life. Minato could thrive again, like in the old days. And it's all come about thanks to you. I honestly don't know how to express my gratitude. Nothing I could say would be enough. Just... arigato. Thank you so much. I heard you've set up a new camp on the Harugasumi Way. If you like, maybe I could take some tools up there, and materials too, to make things a little more convenient. The easier it is for you to hunt, the more materials come my way, and the more forging I can do. Hopefully, that will help you out as well. You've already done so much for me after all. Just give me a minute to grab my things. Strike while the iron's hot, as they say. Here we are then. Let's get to work. Let me know when you're finished over there. The camp's coming together nicely, I think. Time for a break, maybe? All right then, let's. Just tell me whenever you want to stop. The camp's coming together nicely, I think. Time for a break, maybe? We can have a chat while we catch our breath. You came to Minato from the west, didn't you? Along the mountain path. That means you must have walked right around the foot of the secret mountain. That's what we call it. But people from Minato don't venture that way anymore. It was a sacred place for the hunters of old. Much like the Spirit Isle, I think. But I've never heard of any settlements or tracks that way. I suppose the weather's too inhospitable. Sometimes you see clouds of kocho fluttering around the mountainsides, though. It is pretty, but creepy in a way, too. They're called eternity ringlets, that particular type of kocho. I suppose because they gather by the injured and the dead. In the old days, some people even thought that humans and kemono turned into kocho when they died. Anyway, ready to get back to work? Let's get this camp finished off. Let's leave it there for today, shall we? Another one? They're getting very frequent lately.
Really? Interesting.
It was like a moving mountain. Honestly, I've never seen such a huge and terrifying kemono.
It reminds me of something I read in the records from centuries ago. A giant kemono ripped across the land. The castle, the town, the people, all were swallowed in rock. If this is the same creature, it would explain the frequent tremors we've been experiencing recently. Even the strange behavior we observed in the other kemono could be traced back to this giant.
All my life I've lived in Minato, and I had no idea such a kemono lived so close.
Well, kemono only stray outside of their territory in exceptional circumstances, and they rarely show themselves to us. Remember, all kemono, no matter how big or small, are sustained by the same energy, celestial thread. And since celestial thread is ubiquitous, they have no need to wander in search of it.
But then, why has this kemono... could it be because there's no thread left in its territory, perhaps?
Yes, that's my hypothesis too. I believe our giant is hungry, due to some great change in the flow of thread in its environment. Now, we recently flooded our town with celestial thread by restoring the karakuri on the Spirit Isle. So, unfortunately, we've made Minato look rather appetizing.
But that's terrible. That means this kemono is going to expand its territory this way and swallow us up.
I wish I could fault your logic, and I'm afraid we can't reverse what we've done. I had a nagging feeling that something might go wrong, but not this wrong. If only I had investigated the possible outcomes more thoroughly.
No one's to blame. None of us could have anticipated this. We didn't know anything. Wait. Didn't you say you'd encountered this bear once before? Heading from the sacred mountain towards Minato?
Oh. So that means it comes from a habitat to the north. And you're saying it was on the move even before our work at the ruins? But no, we don't have time to be pondering the cause. We must decide how to act, and quickly. Are you serious? I realize your hunting skills are exceptional, but no single person could dispatch a beast of that size. Even if everyone in town pulled together, the best we could hope to do is give it a nasty surprise to begin with before... No, come on, Suzuna. You owe it to Minato to fix this. Think now. Going along the Harugasumi Way, its enormous bulk will mean it has to descend into the river. If we can position Karakuri along the bluff, we might be able to defeat it before it hits the town. I think that's the only workable strategy at this point. I'll talk to the elders about preparing the necessary Karakuri. What I need you to do is buy us some time. Without a chance to prepare, I'm afraid we're doomed.
I wonder if I could... Sorry, I need to go and test something. Meet me later at the forge.
It's going to take all we've got to overcome this threat. The town needs your help now more than ever. Believe me, I'm doing everything I can think of.
Good. You're here.
If we can't live...
Sorry to run off in the middle of a conversation like that, but I had an idea that couldn't wait. I'll come straight to the point. I need some kemono materials, and I need them fast. I started playing around with some new innovations after all the karakuri came back to life, you see. And I think I might have come up with a weapon we can use to fight that giant kemono. It's clearly a rock kemono of some kind, isn't it? Did you notice how its body was covered in deep crevices? And how kocho were fluttering around those parts? In the same sort of way that they swarm over the corpses of kemono, or their wounds. Well, if those crevices are wounds too, they could be weak points. And with my new weapon, we could target them from the ground. Which is why I really need those materials. I'm basically after a large quantity of iron sand. More than we have time to dig out of the ground, though. But I've remembered that Nobu mentioned a rumor about a kemono that scatters iron sand. I am sorry to be asking yet another favor, but do you think you could help?
up.